Yo, what is up guys, my name is AFC Adino and today I will actually be showing you guys my progress in Raven's big Christmas tournament. At the moment I am currently in the third round. I did win the first two rounds, but I decided not to upload them because in the previous past tournaments I haven't been doing really well because I usually am playing on autopilot in the beginning of every tournament because I am not focused, I am not concentrated, so I just think too easy about things, not thinking them through. But now I'm completely focused, so I decided to start recording again. So in the third round we're up against Sakido from the Q crew, and this should be an interesting battle. I'm gonna pause the video and we'll skip right to the match. Be right back. Yo, welcome back. He goes for Taunt though, cause I already put someone to sleep, and Sleep Powder is really the only status move you run on Tangrowth. But yeah, maybe he was predicting a switch, but now I'm going into my T-Tar. So he showed Taunt, now he's roosting. He probably has Brave Bird. So let's see what his last move is. I'm just gonna set up my Stealth Rocks as he reveals the U-turn, and that actually did a lot. So I'm thinking that he's actually running attack EVs, maybe even max attack. So that's good to know. And Crobat does not have defog, which is huge. So I'm getting up my Stealth Rocks, and his Mamoswine comes in. I know for 100% that this guy will go for Stealth Rocks, but I cannot risk my Tyranitar here. I need it for the Porygon, so I'm gonna go into the perfect Pokemon against the Mamoswine, being Bronzong. Bronzong has the Levitate ability, so he does not care about Earthquake. Bronzong is a Steel type, so Icicle Crash is resisted. So I can just press Gyro Ball here as he goes into Raikou, and watch this damage. This actually does a lot, because Raikou is a pretty fast Pokemon. And now I'm gonna go for the Earthquake. Raikou is guaranteed asleep for one turn at least. So if he stays in, he will have to tank the Earthquake. If he switches out, he will be guaranteed asleep for the next time he tries to attack. So he does decide to stay in, and now I'm just gonna press Gyro Ball because it hits his whole team as he decides to stay in. And Bronzong actually took out a legendary Pokemon, which makes him legendary. Let's see what he can do now. He could probably bring in his Machamp, press knockoff. If he does bring in Machamp, I will just go into Tangrowth. Machamp only has one Dynamic Punch left, and Tangrowth is at full HP. If he brings in Crobat, I can just Gyro Ball him. But yeah, he does go for Machamp. Machamp is below half, he has no healing move. I already destroyed his berry. So now I'm just gonna go into Tangrowth. If he does go for knockoff, that won't do anything because my Tangrowth doesn't have an item. And yeah, Raikou went down, so I can just press Sleep Powder again, because this won't break the sleep class, because Raikou is already dead. So no Pokemon on his side is asleep. So going for Sleep Powder is pretty much the play. If I were him, I would probably stay in and go for Dynamic Punch, and hoping that I get confused. I would not switch out here because his other members are important, and if I put something else asleep, that would be very difficult for him to deal with. So I would just go for Dynamic Punch and pray that Tangrowth hurts himself by the confusion. But let's see what he does. Sleep Powder is always my play here anyway. Look at Tangrowth's arms though. Maybe he's also a ghost type. Watch him, watch his arms. Yeah, he's in a really rough position, but that's really the only play he can make, going for Dynamic Punch and pray. Okay, he does do it. That's a nice amount of damage, but I pulled through, put him asleep, and now I can bring in my biggest threat to his team, the Garchomp. Because Garchomp can do so much damage to his team. And if he stays in, I can pretty much get a kill then and there if I press Earthquake, because he has no ground immunity, so pressing Earthquake is pretty free. But yeah, he does bring the only Pokemon that can outspeed my Garchomp, because my Garchomp is running Adamant nature, because I think Adamant is so much better to break through walls. But yeah, I have to switch out here. He will most likely go for the Ice Beam, but I cannot bring in my Bronzong. Tyranitar is always the play against Porygon, because I resist the Tri-Attack and Ice Beam won't do too much because I have the Sandstorm up, and my Tyranitar is especially defensive T-Tar. Like if I went for Bronzong there, he might have Nasty Plot and Shadow Ball, and then he basically gets a free kill. He can even set up 2+6, and that could be really, really scary. So Nasty Plot comes out, and I go for the Crunch here. So I pretty much, Tyranitar pretty much did his job. He got up his Stealth Rocks and he got enough damage on Porygon to let him die to Bullet Punch. But yeah, my Tyranitar lives the +2 Tri-Attack because he does resist it, and he takes out the Porygon. So he did even more than he actually needed to do. But now he brings in Crobat, he takes Stealth Rock's damage, and I'm just gonna press Crunch in case he roosts, but he goes for U-turn, and that's really nice for me because now he has to bring in something and I get the initiative. I get to see what he brings in and I can pretty much counter that Pokemon with something that I can bring in. And remember, Crobat will take some damage after Stealth Rocks the next time it comes back in, so he is pretty much in range of Bullet Punch from my Scissor. Now I see his Clefable, so I'm just gonna bring in Guard Jump, because all I need from Guard Jump is Earthquake damage on this Clefable. Then he will be in range of the Bullet Punch from Scissor, and that's pretty much the late game. Once Guard Jump gets one Earthquake off on Clefable, his whole team will be swept or cleaned up by my Scissor, because his Mamoswine will also die to Bullet Punch after Stealth Rock's damage. So I'm just gonna press Earthquake as he brings in his Crobat. That's fine. Now I can just press Dragon Claw. If he decides to U-turn back into his Clefable, good, that nice play on his part, but he cannot keep that up. My Guard Jump has enough health. If he does go into Clefable, I can just press Earthquake afterwards. I know my Dragon Claw does more damage than he heals with Roost, so I just go for Dragon Claw. And if he does go into Clefable, he cannot keep that up. Stealth Rocks will eventually kill Crobat if he does do that. But now he actually switches into Mamoswine, so this will actually guarantee that my Bullet Punch from Scissor will knock out the Mamoswine. But yeah, now I'm just gonna go into Bronzong. I still need my Guard Jump to Earthquake the Clefable, because that's pretty much my condition to win. And I know Bronzong can pretty much take any attack, and he already has Stealth Rocks up, so he will definitely attack. He actually goes for Icicle Crash, maybe predicting indeed my Bronzong to come out, but it does not matter. At this point I can just press Protect. Even if he switches out now, he will die to Stealth Rocks when he brings it back in, so he pretty much has to stay in. Well, he actually presses Stealth Rocks. But yeah, now I can just press an attack. He will die to Life Orb anyway if he attacks me. Maybe I should have actually used Gyro Ball there in case he wanted to bring in his Crobat, but then I would have hard switched into my Scissor, because Scissor was pretty much at full HP and Crobat lost his Sharp Beak, so his Brave Bird won't do as much damage. Now he brings in his Clefable, and all I need to do now is to let my Bronzong die to this Clefable. So I'm just gonna keep attacking him. If it's a Calm Mind set, he could maybe set up Calm Minds, but it really doesn't matter, because all I need for my Guard Jump is to hit it with one Earthquake and then let my Guard Jump die and bring in my Scissor. So I think it's pretty much GG, but let's see what he does. He does go for Flamethrower, thank you. I go for Gyro Ball, and that does no damage, but it really doesn't matter. Maybe if he has Calm Mind he will go for it. Oh, don't tell me he's going to set up 6 Calm Minds, please. Please. Because if you do that, then you're just wasting your time and you're wasting my time. Because this game is pretty much over from here. If he does go for Soft Boiled after this, then I will put a sign somewhere to the point where you can skip, where my Bronzong will die. Because then I will bring in my Guard Jump, Earthquake him, and clean up with Scissor. So let's see if he goes for Soft Boiled. Yeah, I really have no reason to predict the Soft Boiled too. The safest play is just to let my Bronzong die here. So he does go for Soft Boiled. So if you want to see how this Sakido is gonna struggle, keep watching. If you want to skip ahead, skip ahead. If it gets too boring, you can just skip ahead, because I know this is pretty much the boring part. Him struggling. is at full HP or not. He did go for the flamethrower. And now I'm just gonna press Tux. I'm just gonna attack him. He does go for Moonblast. I get the Earthquake damage off. But it doesn't matter. If he's really playing like he did, then he will probably soft boil now and then go for the flamethrower. Yep, I'm just gonna throw Toxic. It really doesn't matter what button I click on Bronzong. I'm still gonna win the game. So now he should finally go for the flamethrower, so that I can finally resume my plan and bring in the guard jump. Finally, because all I really need is the Earthquake damage, and even if he tries to soft boiled stall my Life Orb, like I said, Earthquake does more than he heals with leftovers and soft boiled, and I have enough health to keep Earthquaking him to the point where Scissor can then kill him. And also by doing that, he will risk getting hit by a crit. So the game is hugely in my favor. I do go for the Earthquake, as he does knock me out with the Moonblast, and at this point it's pretty much GG. Scissor comes in, and like I said, this was the late game that I foresaw. Just gonna press Bullet Punch. I think Scissor is really one of the best late game cleaners in the game, in this game at least. Yeah, Clefable finally drops. Crobat will definitely drop after Stealth Rocks from Bullet Punch. And all that's left is a sleeping Machamp. But can the sleeping Machamp kill me? Maybe he has Sleep Talk. No, I'm kidding, man. He will die to Bullet Punch anyway. And that's pretty much GG. So I hope you liked this game. I will upload the second game, so if you want to see the 4th round, click the pop-up right there. But for now, peace out and see you in the next game.